Is good, everybody out there? Thanks for checking in with your boy at Court Thoughts, the channel where we basically talk basketball. Man, we are up to episode number 3 of Court Thoughts Talks, and I got an absolute banger for you today. I had the absolute pleasure in sitting down and talking with a good friend of mine, Isaac Signal, aka Bongo, about his experience in how he got introduced into the game of basketball, but also what it was like playing overseas, as well as being a development player for a number of teams here in the NBL. Bongo is such a down-to-earth dude, and he's so humble, even when he's talking. Like, when you listen to some of the names that this man's talking about, like some of the people he's just casually mentioning, you're like, this is some real talent, bro. This ain't just Joe Schmo from down the road. And I was blessed enough to share the court with this man. On top of that, man, it's always a pleasure to get on and catch up with a friend and talk to him about his experience. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Please make sure you go ahead and give him some love on his Instagram. I've put the link to his Instagram in the description if you want to go ahead and check it out. But look, let's get into the episode, and I hope you enjoy. Is this thing on? Welcome, B. Thank you for jumping on the podcast, bro. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you inviting me, man. You know, I haven't really done podcasts before, so this is one of, probably the first time I actually done a podcast with somebody, because me and my friends were trying to do something, but it just never worked out. So it's cool, man. Appreciate you having me. Yeah.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I know you'll be good because it's so easy to talk with you, bro. We're good friends, so it's gonna be easy, bro. It's gonna be good.
It's easy, man. Like I've been watching some of your videos. Surprisingly, you might be surprised, but I've actually been following your YouTube channel.
Nice.
Some of the stuff you've been doing, see other players, how your reaction towards it and all that. So I've been keeping in touch with on YouTube a little bit here and there. You know what I mean?
Nice. I appreciate it. And for everyone watching, if it wasn't for this man on the camera right now, I wouldn't have found out about Den Kawani, bro, and did my reaction. And that man killed it. That man killed it. Had me wild, bro.
I saw that one. I saw that one.
All right, let's start to talk a little bit about your introduction to basketball. So how did you actually get introduced to the game, bro?
Well, man, it's crazy. It's first, so I went to a public school at first in your grade 8.
Yep.
So I went to public school. I did 1 year there. My grades were good. So my parents are, since your grades are good, we're gonna take you to a private school.
Okay.
So the private school. So I grew up in Perth. So
yep.
Yeah, I used to play soccer and whatnot. So I wasn't really into basketball.
Yep.
So as soon as I moved to a private school, everybody played. Most of the guys that in my class or my year were all playing basketball during lunchtime or recess. So
yeah, I
just went out there. That's how I really got into it. And from there, I just didn't know I could jump. I didn't know I could, I didn't know I could actually jump. So I started playing with those guys and eventually just started taking off. I started watching N1. I used to watch Streetball. My friend gave me the DVD.
Everyone did, bro. Everyone did back in the day. Yeah. Everyone was where it was at, bro.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm like, man, you know what? I like this, man. This is fun, So from transition from streetball to actual proper game of basketball was a complete different jump, So when my friend invited me to his house to watch basketball, it was Boston versus Spurs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, so this is indoor basketball. Yeah, it's like different to streetball. It's like, yeah, man, there's different rules. There's 3 refs and whatnot. I'm like, oh snap! Yeah. So you can't really throw the ball at people's head.
Super chill as well. Those two teams back in the day, bro, Boston and then the Spurs, man, there was no flashiness, man. They weren't doing none of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So that was my first introduction to actual basketball before, streetball.
Yep. Yeah.
So it was Paul Pierce. I think I was watching. He was just giving guys buckets. I'm like, man, who's that number 35? No, number 34. It's my favorite player, man. Yeah. He's nice. He can shoot. He got the headband. He's looking nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So I was like, the arm sleeves. I'm like, man, this is cool, man. So that's how I really got into basketball.
Yeah. Was growing up watching N1 and Streetball and stuff like that, were those guys a lot of your early idols before you sort of found Paul Pierce? Or when you found Paul Pierce, you were like, nah, this is my dude right here?
Yeah, 100%. I used to like what's the name? What's the Baby Shaq. I thought it was my Baby Shaq was my favorite. I like Helicopter.
Yeah.
Obviously hot sauce. You can't go wrong with hot sauce.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, and what's that guy name? Spider. Those guys were. I'm like, man, yeah.
I got to show you some. I got to show you some. One sec.
Okay. Now you got something up in the back there.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I'm going into the collection for you, bro.
Oh man, let me see.
So back in the day when N1 came out to Australia, I actually met a whole bunch of them and got all their signatures and stuff like that. I was hella big into N1, but I think it was for me. I've always been a fan personally of the creativity associated with basketball. So guys like White Chocolate were always really interesting to me because they had that flair, like Pistol Pete Maravich. I would definitely say Mahmoud Abdul Rauf was a big one as well. Like there's this style that they have to their game that's functional, but there's an element of like, I want you to know how bad I'm ruining you right now. So, that was a big thing. What was it like playing basketball in Perth?
It was interesting, man. Like, well, like I said, I grew up in this playing streetball in high school. During weekends, and the weekends we're playing just outdoor. But since I wanted to transition from that to actually playing 5-on-5, where there's coaches and you get to have a team. You know what I'm saying? Not just do whatever you want. It was different, man. It was tough. It was tough. Like, wasn't many Sudanese or Africans playing basketball around then. So we're like probably the new wave of the kids that just got into that system and try to get into the system. So it was tough, but at the same time, I learned a lot, along the way, how stuff works, and how certain stuff get done. You know what I'm saying? Like practice, I had to find my way there. My parents weren't into basketball. They were education and playing football instead of basketball.
Yeah.
But I met some great people. I met one guy from Sydney. He moved to Perth. His name was this Fijian guy named Tarai.
Yep.
Shout out to Tarai. He started working me out, like actual workout. Teaching me how to lay up properly. Right foot, left foot. How to left hand reverse layup. Just reading the game. You know what I mean? Because I was fast. I could do like one or two move and just go dunk the ball, do all that crazy stuff. But I didn't know when to slow down or see.
Yeah.
It was just, I was very raw,
Yeah.
But, it was cool, man.
A lot of guys that I was very lucky. Like, I was very blessed to be introduced to the game very young. And so I already had a very fundamental game when I was quite young. But then when N1 popped off, I was in high school. And me and all my mates, we used to play together, like lunchtime and all that sort of stuff. And some of those guys, they got introduced to basketball through N1. So I understand exactly what you're talking about, because some of those guys would be very gifted. They'd see a move and then they could replicate it. And I think a lot of it comes to, some of them were Spanish like me as well. So they got this experience where they did play football growing up. They have this passion for football and creativity and flair that then when they go to do something, they just think it's part of the game. And then when you see them transition into the actual organized style of basketball is very, very different. Exactly to what you were talking about. When you then started to get involved in organized basketball, how quickly did you see your game grow? Did you see it it caught up with your athleticism?
Yeah, 100%. Like, because I was always athletic. I was fast. I used to do running. I did karate. I did so many sports.
Yeah.
The footwork was there. It's just that I needed to learn the moves because I didn't know. For example, a step back. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
In and out. I didn't know what it was. But I could do them. I do them randomly, So, like, I just come down.
Move, bro.
Come there, do in and out. Step back. I didn't know what it was. But I could do it. So when I was told, like, hey, that's what this is called. That's called. This is called a Euro step. Everything started connecting. The dots just started connecting. I just needed a foundation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Please, go. What were you gonna say, bro?
Yeah. No, I just that when all that packed in, I started getting really. I started playing. Getting real good, and the potential was there. A lot of people started seeing potential in my game, man. Nice. We used to play in the local come on a Saturdays, I used to come down and hit the behind the back pass, layups, just hitting guys, quick. Like people are like, man, yeah, you're not bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you need to just slow down and read the game better, you know. But you can see what you're trying to do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a big thing, bro. Like for people to really you can tell the difference between when someone is gifted at the game, they're very natural, and when they
yeah,
understand the game because of the pace that they can play at. They can play fast, they can play slow, but everything is calm. So
yeah,
it's good that you were kind of able to learn that, and obviously playing with you, and we'll get into all that sort of stuff a little bit later.
yeah,
You definitely understand the game. It's not a problem.
yeah,
So it's real good. It's real good.
yeah, yeah.
You eventually ended up making your way over to play prep ball at Virginia. How did
Yeah.
that opportunity come about? You know, getting introduced to basketball through streetball and then starting into, organized basketball. What was
Yeah.
that journey like, bro?
Oh well, I met a coach from the. He was living in Sydney. He came to Australia, I think in '98. His name was Coach Ed Smith. So he used to help a lot of the Sudanese kids and African kids get opportunity to go to the U.S., take them to AAU, all that.
Yep.
So this he came to I think he got one guy to watch us play in the Sudanese basketball tournament. It was down actually here in Penrith.
Okay.
Yeah, so we came out to Sydney in 2010. I think I was still in school.
Yeah.
2010. We came here, we played for a Sudanese tournament. So there was like I was feel that I was one of the youngest guys out there. You know what I mean? So we had like a big team. A lot of guys were experienced and older than me, so I didn't really get much playing time. But
Yep.
they put me in a dunk contest. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to dunk contest. I did some just ridiculous stuff. Because obviously the crowds were there, so you adrenaline kicks in. You do all this stuff that you don't normally do. So I started wilding out, going crazy.
Yeah.
So then some guy came approached me like, "Hey man, how old are you?" I told him my age. I was like, "Oh, I was just 17. I just finished. I'm about to finish school soon." Like, okay, well, I'd like to invite you to come to Sydney next. Hopefully, when you finish school, come train with this coach. His name is Coach Smith. He take you to U.S. tour and whatnot. So I got excited. My eyes lit up. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I went back. I told my parents the news. They were excited. So then crazy. I made that journey to the East Coast first time. Catching a plane out here this way.
Yeah.
Man, first day, the coach like, oh, you gonna play this guy 1-on-1. So it was like this guy, one of my boy, his name is crazy. I didn't know him back then, obviously, but this guy went to the States. He been to the States. He trained with coach for a while.
Yeah.
And coach, he went to St. Thomas More with Andre Drummond, same school as Andre Drummond.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he came back with swag, confidence. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna play this guy.
I'm gonna cook him.
Yeah, this was at Rockdale PCYC.
Yep.
So man, I'm sitting there putting on my shoelace. I'm watching this guy shoot, bro. Threes, yeah. Bah, bah. He hasn't missed 10 in a row. Look at coach. Coach looked at me. I'm like, shit. All right. I went out there. We played first 11. Man, I got my ass whooped 11-3. I'm like, shit. All right. Go again. 11-5. Win again. 11-6. Go again. 11-10. I was getting closer, but man, I got my ass kicked the whole day. I'm like, shit, I got a long way to go. So coach like, hey, dunk the ball. I went and dunked it. Boom. Confidence went up, right?
Yep.
So he set me down. He's like, yeah, we got you got a lot to learn. This is my man here, been with me for long, X, Y, and Z. So that's how I got here. And then he started training me. Eventually, I started improving a lot. That's how the thing that got him to, because I thought he was gonna let me go because obviously I got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
But he saw the potential in my game and he saw my athleticism. He saw something. You know what I mean? That I didn't know I could have. Yeah.
Sometimes a player doesn't have to necessarily, like, at least from my eyes, bro, like I could see a player and maybe they're not necessarily the most gifted player, but they've got the right attitude, or they are very technically, they're very athletic, but they're not very technically skilled. I can teach you how to play basketball, but if you got the wrong attitude and you don't have the bare bones to sort of get you into that, and one thing just from that story is your determination, bro. A lot of people, you play them 1-on-1 and you crush them. They're not necessarily gonna be like, oh, let's run that back. They're gonna be like, oh God, I got a sore leg, bro. Like, that's what happened. I got these new shoes. They're real uncomfortable. Nah, bro. Just good enough. But when you started to work with this coach and then develop your game, was there anything specific that he started to do that you felt like really started to push your game? Was he putting you into specific situations? Was it just working on your fundamentals? What was it?
Oh, I think his workout was it's either you're gonna quit or you're gonna keep going. It was very simple. So we would train at we train at Rockdale PCYC sometimes and Maribor PCYC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was Ton was young. It was me, Thornmaker, Tony Tolliver, and a few other guys. You know, James Quan and James Datch, obviously Chris Johnson, the guy that played. It was heaps of us, like 8, 10 of us. It was 10 of us. You know what I'm saying? So we started training at like 7, 8. We finished up to like 12, man. So it was like it was hard nosed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, it's mental. It's all mental. Like it's intensity, barely water break.
Yeah.
So it was all mental. It was toughness. You know, just see how tough you can get. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously, we do everything. You know, passing, you know, ball handling, shooting, footwork. We did everything, right? And then losers obviously go like monkeys and barrels. I don't know if you heard of monkeys. You know,
I'm not too sure if I've heard that drill. I might know it as something else.
Yeah, I mean it's like, you know, bear crawl or bear.
Oh yeah, bear crawl. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you lose, you gotta do it like 20 or 30 or goes full court up and back. It was no suicide, none of that weak stuff.
No.
Or running 17s or none of that. It was just straight like drills that would just make you tap out.
Yeah. That's crazy. So
man.
When I was in youth league, we used to do this. Like my coach didn't believe in doing normal suicides. This guy was like, I don't know, man. He was just trying to hurt people. There's like a grandstand. This is at Michael Wendon Center. So at the grandstand, you'd basically run to the other side, do a backboard tap, and then to come back, you have to go up and then down the bleachers. So your legs, you might have to do this like up and back is one. You got to do that 10, 15 times. And those types of things where they're trying to break you, it actually ends up instilling a lot of these really good basic principles in you can't quit. You're going to get tired. You got to do something. You got to execute it and getting your body used to it. So that's good. When you then started to, when you migrated over to the States and played a little bit over there, what was the big difference for you in regards to the style of game that was played versus here? So, because I believe obviously our game here is very physical, but we're not anywhere near as athletically gifted as what you would see a lot of the players that are coming out of the States. Was there anything along those lines or any big things that jumped out at you and the difference that you had to work your way around?
Yeah, it was the speed. The tempo of the game. So we played AAU, played at Pangos camp in the West Coast. That's the first time we went AAU in July.
Yep. And
I'm telling you, man, the first game we played was against, I remember it was Arizona Magic. I think Arizona Dream Team or Magic, one of them. It was a team from Arizona. So first game, man, I'm telling you, it's like tip of the jump, boom, boom. Started playing, man. I'm telling you that it was so fast, bro. It's like bang, 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 bang. Yeah, literally everything would seem like a fast break, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It was just the speed was just different. Dude are more athletic, way athletic. You know, people. It's funny. I find it funny when people say Americans they don't shoot the ball or they rely on athleticism. You know, it's bullcrap, bro. Those guys there, they got guys that can straight knock down shots. They got guys that can it's just different personalities. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people can shoot the ball there, especially on the dribble. Yeah, you know, you got straight shooter just come on screens. Anyway, first half we're down 25. It was so fast.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Yep, straight up. So our coach is like, man, let's play zone. You know. Then I don't know what happened. We played zone. This guy shot the piss at the ball. So then he called timeout. I don't know what he did. There's a coach from Compton Magic. His name is Coach Spoon. Shout out Coach Spoon. He came in coaches, right? He's like, no, you guys are not playing. You guys are not playing freaking zone. In America, we'll play man. You guys are man team. So we went to man, bro. He hyped, It's like, see, it comes down to coaching, bro. Like this guy got us all fired up. He kind of like, he reminds me of Coach Smith. They up. They all get excited. You know, you're playing defense. He's playing defense with you. You know, he's very engaged. You know what I'm saying? So we started playing full court. We started coming back, man. You know, we ended up losing by like 15-10, but it was just the tempo. The tempo is crazy with it. Everybody's fast as hell, man.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that I've played with that have either spent time in the States or are from the States,
Yeah.
I would definitely say there isn't. It's like everyone, right? There's specialists. Some guys are shooters. Some guys are really athletic.
Yeah.
But to
Yeah.
say that they don't shoot or it's because of their athleticism, it's not. I think if
No.
anything, it's probably their play style. Over in the
Yep.
States, they very much adopt. At least when we were growing up, they very much adopted the process of get the ball up the court as fast as you can because you
Yep.
want to outscore them. You know,
Yep.
and if you can outscore them, even if your defense isn't fantastic, they have to keep up with that pace. It's that run and gun pace. It's really, really difficult to deal with, especially if you're not ready for it. And every coach that I've ever I've probably had maybe 2 or 3 American coaches, and each time the idea of zone is like, nah, we ain't doing that.
No.
No,
Yeah,
we're doing
non-existent,
man.
yeah.
The closest you might get is if you really get in shootout, you might see a box and one or maybe a press. But for the most part, it's like, no. Take accountability. Because if that person scores on you, it's got to eat you up in your chest. You got to want to stop that man. So, I don't think that there's one way that people play and you can just go, oh, they're from here. This is how they play.
Nah, you can't do that. Yeah, it's too like when I went there, every state was different style of playing. Like we played this against so many AAU teams where there's some teams all they do is shoot threes.
Yeah.
Like majority of the shot is threes. Some team they all they do is dunk the ball and attack the basket. So they all just and they play defense. So they play defense.
Yeah.
They go for the steal. They get to the cup. That's all they do.
Yeah.
You know, and some team they just sit on a man zone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of some team from Vegas, I can't remember. All they did was is Las Vegas Lakers. Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
All they do is they play like high up man zone.
Yep.
And all they do is just sit on there and just try to make you just play one-on-one in the zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're not really playing man to man. It's just man zone where you got your yard, everyone got the yard.
Yeah. You got your quadrant. You stick to your quadrant. You're responsible for this. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always liked that style of defense. Just marking that quadrant. You kind of get the best of both worlds with the man and the zone. You can compress and crash if you need to, but you're responsible for that space. When you had that experience and then coming back to Australia, obviously you mentioned teams like Compton Magic. Like Compton Magic's a well-known team in the AAU circuit. How much did you see your game elevate?
Oh, astoundingly. My confidence was off the roof. I came back super athletic, more stronger. I came back really fast. I was like, the game, when I came back here, first game I played, it was slow, man. I'm like, damn, people are slow. I'm just going. Yeah, I was literally running people at the gym, you know. But then after a while, you adapt to it here, you know what I'm saying? But I came back with super confidence, man. I'm like, man, I can do this. I could make shots like 7, 8 in a row just like that. What the?
Yeah.
It's just, confidence was off the roof. Yeah, his main thing was confidence and the speed.
How important would you say confidence is to the game of basketball, bro?
Oh, I mean, confidence, everything. You can work all you want, but you're not confident, you're not going to play. You're going to get beat by guys that can barely. Like, I met so many guys that can barely shoot the ball, but their confidence always is there. You know, they'll say, I'll make the next one.
Yep.
You know, miss, I'll make the next one. Oh, I'm going to guard you. I'm going to stop you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
So confidence comes with everything, man. Like, the more you work, you should believe in the craft you put in, because that's your confidence builder right there, you know?
Yeah.
So basketball is all confidence, man. Especially at the level where you played, you did all the fundamentals, the basics, you know, all the experience. You know, you shouldn't always, you know, confidence shouldn't be a problem after that, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. And when like you've been really lucky to have played around the world in different locations. I mean, you've played in, you know, New Zealand, you've played in Malaysia, you've played in basketball hotspots too, like China, Philippines is like a crazy one to me.
It's crazy as hell.
What were those experiences like playing over in those countries?
Oh, man, Asian style of basketball is also different, man. Like you know, it's very physical. You know, the refs really let you guys play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The refs will, they just watch you, like, especially when guys you get bumped, hit. You know, they don't really speak English, so you got to play, right? So yeah, it's very physical there, very super physical, and you know, it gets really dirty sometimes.
Especially in the Philippines, it's super duper physical.
Oh, Yeah, it's
duper
super
physical.
super physical. China is the same as well.
Yep.
Super physical. I played for Jump10. When
Yep.
Bruce Bolin took us down there in 2019, 18.
Yep.
Super physical, man. Like it was crazy intense. Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you about Jump 10. So what was that? What was it like playing in that type of tournament? Jump 10's it's a big deal. So what was it
Oh
like
yeah.
to get involved in that type of tournament?
Oh man, I to be honest, I just wanted to just go experience it. I was like, I was invited to try it. I went, worked out. He liked my game, so he took me down there. Um, I mean, we played against guys, Mexico, Spain, China,
Yeah.
just different, Serbia, the guys from Serbia. So everybody just, guys from the US, those guys playing the Drew League, they're
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
over there, Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was intense, man. Super intense, super physical.
Yeah.
Like the German team, the old giants, they were just super physical, man. Oh man,
What
it
was
was
it?
rough.
Was there
It was
any
rough.
was there any particular countries that jumped out at you and you were like, oh man, I don't know you got a game like that? Was there any teams that like impressed you like that?
Yeah, the team Spain guys, we're like, oh yeah, those guys that won yesterday, so they went out drinking. We're like, we're gonna come there and just beat them up. So I'm all right. Oh man, they're like it's an early game too. We're like, yeah. We'll go hyped up, went to sleep early. Man, the game was at 9 o'clock versus guys. Bro, those guys came out blazing hot, just threes after threes.
Yeah.
Spanish dude, bro, they don't know card or big or anything.
No.
They just look, yeah, this guy.
They look like me, bro.
Yeah,
They look like me, bro.
Nah, you build. Those guys are not built. They're skinny. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna beat them, muscle them, and bro, they shot the lights out, man. And those tournaments, it's for the point of the clock is you reach a certain point. I think I can't remember how the scoring system goes, but those guys were shooting the lights out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up losing that game.
Oh wow.
It was very So Spain really stood out for me. I'm like, wow, these guys can really shoot the ball.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people when they think of basketball, they think of America first and foremost, and America like is the birthplace of the game, right? Like
it is,
first and foremost, it's the place where the game was born. Of course, they're going to be good at it, right? But there is other countries, like you mentioned, Serbia before, Germany, Spain, those types of countries, bro. They've got a very technical style of play. It's very, very different. Probably somewhat closer to how we play. But I would definitely say we're not as technical as they are, and you can't just take them for granted and be like, oh yeah, that's Lithuania. Oh, don't worry about them. They're gonna cook you, bro.
No, they're gonna come out. They're gonna come at you, bro. Like, European basketball is a ball movement, bang bang, point A to point B, quick.
Yeah,
and they're very, very, very fundamental with the mechanics and how they play the game. You know what I mean? So that's why I love basketball, man. I'm blessed to like travel and play against different countries and see how the style of play.
Yeah. Did you also travel around with the ACBA guys as well?
We did.
With them?
Yeah. Went with them to went to China. I think twice. Malaysia. China, Malaysia mainly.
Yeah. For those of you that are unfamiliar about the ACBA, ACBA is Australian Chinese Basketball Association. A lot of guys in Sydney have, if they've played at a moderate competitive level, they've either played in the ACBA. Like I've played in the ACBA. I didn't play in the touring team, but I've played with a lot of the guys that have gone on the touring teams, and those types of experiences. I think they're fantastic, bro, because a lot of people, they want to play basketball and they want to push themselves to the next level that they can, and potentially try and get contracts to play overseas, and that's the best way to get it, bro, to go to those touring teams, play other talent levels and see what it's like.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Speaking about your touring days and whatnot, I'm sure that had a big contributing factor to you eventually picking up a development player contract with the Illawarra Hawks. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience, bro?
Oh yeah, that was an interesting one because when I got the opportunity with Illawarra Hawks, I was in Adelaide, so I was playing. It was called Premier League in Adelaide, but now it's NBL One Central. So I was playing for West Adelaide. I was over there.
Yep.
So then one time I just, I was training with Joey Wright. He was the head coach of 36ers. So I sometimes go shoot around with them, and in a small town, so everybody kind of know everybody. I started talking to Rich Creek. He used to invite me to go work together and whatnot. So then, one of my coach, shout out to my boy Rashad in Adelaide. He actually the one who set me up to go work out with Melbourne United. He talked.
Okay.
Yeah, this one coach. When Dean Dimopoulos was the head coach at the time, it was 2016 to 17 around there.
Yep.
Hit up Simon Mitchell. He was the former coach for Southeast Melbourne last season.
Yep.
So Simon was assistant coach at the time. So Tak obviously knows Simon. So Tak hit up Simon like, hey man, this is my boy Isaac. He's been working out, with me playing in NBL, playing in a Premier League like in Adelaide here for West Adelaide. Can you?
Yeah.
This is his tape, these are highlights, can you guys get him a workout? I was like, yeah. So Simon looked at me, we started talking on Facebook. They flew me down, man, flew me down. Mike Kelly, the current assistant coach of Perth Wildcats, picked me up from the airport, took me to the hotel. Next day I went to work out with them. Obviously, eventually, I didn't get anything out of it, but it was good network for me. I was appreciative of that. So I came back, then I flew down to Sydney. Rob Beveridge is the head coach. Rob was originally from Perth. Yeah. So Rob, nicest guy you would meet, bro. He treated me like just one of their own. So anyway, I went to Illawarra. I'm like, this is my only chance, man. I got to make the most of it. Whatever happens. So I went down there. It was a preseason, obviously. Just a camp, training camp. They invite certain guys down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the only way I can make this team. I learned from my United days. I was trying to score the ball, trying to do too much. So when I came to Illawarra, I'm like, you know what? These guys, they don't even just score the ball. I'm going to be a defender, They got guys that are going to do all that stuff. The only one thing I can bring to the table is defense.
Yeah.
Right? So I was dogging Kevin Leach full court. I was dogging Reece Martin full court. They started setting hammer screen on me, man. They started setting those half-court screens on me to get me off those guys.
Yeah.
Because I was on the ass, bro. I'm like, this is my only chance. And, and, those guys were also nice. They gave me feedback that, hey, man, you're doing good. Just keep pushing yourself, especially Reece Martin, one of the nicest guys, Yeah. Reece, Kevin Leach. Kevin Leach, he was like my big brother when I was there, Still today, I see him, we talk, you know what I mean? So
that's good.
So, eventually, I got the opportunity, man. I went back to Adelaide. I finished the season off, and then I came to Sydney, and then that's how I ended up in Wollongong.
Yeah.
It was me and Tony Tolliver, So that's one of my boys. Went to America together with two.
Nice. Yeah. And you guys were probably training out at the Snake Pit, right? Like the old, bro. That stadium, it's got
How old is that stadium?
Oh, bro, it's got this feel to it. It's like old stadiums like Newcastle as well. Bankstown's got it as well. There's this feeling when you walk in there, but that building is special, bro. I don't know what it is. There's something about it.
I love it there.
Did you feel like having that experience and getting that sort of support that you were getting, and obviously you've been getting a lot of tutelage from some really talented people. How did that feel to get that sort of level of recognition to be like, I've got some hooping skills, I got some game, how did that feel for you?
Oh, it felt amazing, man. Especially when people give you a compliment. When I was in Adelaide, Joe Ingles came down to the offseason when I was with the Jazz.
Yeah.
We're scrimmaging with the 36ers guys. It was me, him in the same team. I was making shots. I was passing the ball, coming with Pig, hitting him on the weak side. I hit a three. I had the game-winning three. He was telling Joe, right, man, that kid deserves a contract. Give him a contract.
Yeah.
Hearing that from Joe Ingles.
Yeah.
He's always gonna stick with me. And also just Reece Martin, Kevin Leach, Kirk Penn at the time. Them just give me advice. Oscar Foreman. Shout out to Oscar. Those guys they treated me like one of their own. It's like give me feedback. Just sense of belonging. And Rob Beveridge. He was yelling at me just like he yelled at the starters.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that with me. He could have just been like, hey, go sit off.
Yeah.
But the fact that he would correct me, when we're pressing or I'm not doing the right thing. He would yell at me, just cuss me out. You know, I was like, yeah, man, this guy actually cares about me. You know, so
Yeah,
it felt good, bro.
well, Rob Beveridge, he ended up winning an NBL championship, bro. Like as a coach, so
Oh yeah, for sure.
they don't get to that level without pushing people in the right direction. And you know, speaking of Joe Ingles, I remember it was a couple years back. I was at Auburn, and we were getting ready for UBL season. And I got there you know me, bro. I was just getting shots up. I was there 2 hours before we were doing this work there, right? And this man was there already full sweat, and he was literally just going up and down the court doing shooting drills. And then at the end, we got the chance to sit down and talk to him a little bit, and he comes off a certain way when you see him, you know, talking crazy on the TV screen, but he's actually a really nice guy. He's actually a really, really nice guy.
Listen, yeah, bro, that's why I love Joe Ingles. Like, when I was in Adelaide, we were in the same team.
Yeah.
Bro, he was cooking my friend. Lowell, he played for he's Brisbane Bullets right now.
Yeah.
He dunk on him. He was talking, man. Joe Ingles talks a lot of shit. This guy talks so much shit, man. But he's the nicest dude, man. Really humble dude. Like, you know, but I get it. You know, that's basketball. You know, you gotta talk your shit. He's an NBA player. He knows how it is. I'm sure when he went there, those guys were mouthing.
Oh,
you know, you're in that environment. Of course, you're gonna mouth. Like every time, in case you didn't know, every time you watch him play Clippers, he always mouth at those guys because they cut him.
He's just going like this, bro.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah. So now Joe is cool as hell, man.
I think as well too. Like here in Australia, there's a grit that comes to the style of basketball that we have, and there's definitely a lot of shit talk that you either can put up with it and give it, or it'll break you. Like we've played together, and you've heard some of the shit that I say. I speak reckless, bro. I speak reckless, bro. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your ancestors' feelings, bro. I'm gonna say something, and you're gonna cry, bro. If you let me get to you, I'm gonna get to you. But I think that sort of that's just one of the aspects that I love about Joe Ingles. He's just ruthless, bro. He's ruthless.
Yeah, he don't give a damn, bro. He says whatever he wants.
And I think as well, one of the crazy things, I remember we were talking about it on a road trip game when we were in Wagga. You were talking about the playbook depth in NBL. Educate some of these people about how deep their playbook is.
Man, listen, that thing is thick, bro. It's a thick ass book with more than 30 plays. I remember when I was training with the Sydney Kings.
Yeah,
this was when Andrew Bogan and Leonard Copeland were coaching. Shout out to those guys, you know. But man, first day we're at that Sydney King. It was a Sydney King development camp, right?
Yeah.
So we're training. You know, everybody, getting shots up, going 2-on-1, 3-on-2, all that disadvantage stuff. Yeah. Come back, break out, team shooting again. Then finally we get to the real game, right? Where we're running sets. So one team goes up and back, go run 5-and-O's, up and back, up and back. Listen, bro, that play just kept going on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
To the point where everyone's like, what the hell is this counters? So that was one day with those guys. So I was with the Hawks for 2 seasons, right? Yeah. Man, that playbook is thick, man. At least more than 30, 40 plays, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah. Even if you think about it, even right now with my NBL 1 team, Daniel Kim, he's the same. Obviously he has experience, being a video coordinator for 36 last season. Yeah. His playbook is big too, He's like, what about 13 plays or something, but different reads. Yep. So if you stack them all together, at least 20, at least close to 20. Yeah. And that just plays, forget about full court press. I think all in total, at least 40 something. Yeah. Yeah. So you got to remember everything.
And a lot of stuff too, like for guys on, to put that into concept, like to put it into perspective for the mere mortals like us out there, right? Most play sets you might have, I think most teams will have maybe max five plays, and there's 2 or 3 reads out of there, and they're set for a specific reason. Maybe you run a flex set or a horn set or a floppy set or whatever, Spain set, whatever the case is, but you're running it for a particular player, and if that play is hot, okay, we're going to get Bongo open, we're going to do this play. To have that many plays, it's you can't maintain that much knowledge unless you're deep within understanding the game. So a lot of that stuff is conceptual, right? Like it might be, this is your basic motion play, but then this is option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. Yeah, that's where you're coming from. How it gets so deep, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking on your NBL1 experience, so last year you joined the Inner West Bulls for their inaugural season in the NBL1 East division. So previously here in Australia, before we actually started to batch up everything, we were all over the place.
Everywhere.
Deep south, you'd have, a C-Ball, then you'd have ABA, and then there'd be NBL1 over here. It was all, Premier League, like you were talking about before. Then they had another one in Queensland, like it was
QBL.
QBL, that's it. Super
Perth
crazy.
SBL. Yep.
It's so crazy, bro.
Darwin DBA.
Bro, get out of here. Too much. How did you find the experience playing in the NBL1 last year?
To be honest, last year wasn't much different. It was just the name.
Yeah.
I would say it was just the name, and obviously the branding was better. It was like now you get more exposure. The uniforms are much cleaner.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel like the talent was still the same.
Okay.
But this year I think it's a bit different.
Yeah.
There's most teams got imports.
Yeah.
A lot of the team normally, if I look at being basketball New South Wales, like most imports are from the country teams, right?
Yeah.
Now you look at it, like all the metro team have imports.
Yeah.
Like us, we got 2 imports this season. But last year was all right. We didn't have import, but it was okay, man. Obviously, it was Coach Daniel Kim's first time coaching our men's team. You know what I mean? So with a lot to learn from him. He learned a lot. We learned a lot. Our team was very young.
Yeah.
Chemistry wise, we started up. As the season progresses, we started going downhill. So this year our team is completely different. I feel like our team this year is way better. Way better, more matured guys. I think we just the chemistry is way better. You know what I'm saying? This year is we're a completely different team compared to last year.
Yeah. I think guys like us that have been in the game for quite some time, we've played on teams that mesh really well, and we've also played on some teams that don't mesh. How important is team chemistry to you as a player?
It's everything, man. Like one person can mess up the whole team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If everyone's on the same page and you got one person that's sucking or not really getting along with everybody, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for example, the 36ers, beginning of the season, they had Craig Randall, right? Yep, but this guy was only messing around with one guy. He didn't like the rest of the guys. They weren't talking.
Yep.
So and nobody really couldn't gel with him. So they had to let go. One person can impact everybody. So that's a beauty of basketball, or sports in general.
Yeah.
Well, team sport. Everyone's gotta be on the same page. If one person mess up, guess what? Everything goes loose, right? So chemistry is everything, man. Everything.
I think especially at your level as well, like if you think you were talking just a moment ago about some of the talent from the imports. I know one of the imports that are coming over to the Canberra team this year, and you got to think about some of the other guys like Kiwi Gardner playing with Illawarra last year. Obviously, a lot of guys that are playing in the NBL, they're bumping down to stay fresh in the off season and whatnot. Yeah. Man, you gotta have everything crossed off right. You gotta be prepped, ready to go. If you ain't right, it's gonna be real difficult.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
And how are you guys preparing for the season ahead now with Inner West again this year?
Oh, now we're looking solid, man. Last year our preseason started we started November, first week of November.
Yep.
And then towards the season of beginning, halfway through the season, guys getting started injuries.
Yeah.
Compared to this year, we started very late.
Yep.
We started very late. We started I think second week of December.
Yep.
And we only did twice a week. Last year we did 4 times a week, 6 a.m. beach workout.
Yep. That'll get you through that. That'll break you down if your body ain't ready for it, bro.
Yeah, 100%. So this year we're managing the workload, so we don't get too fatigued. We train twice a week this season. Last year we trained 3, 4. Yeah, this year we only train Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
And Friday recovery game day on Sunday. And some games going to be on Fridays too. So, so it's going to be interesting this year, man. So this year our approach is way different than last year.
Hey, listen, bro. I got a KO Sports membership. I'm gonna be following you boys. All right, don't worry about it.
Man, they put us on, man. Last year they put us on KO once, man. Can you believe it?
Oh, bro. Hey, I don't even. Hey, you send me their details. I'll give him a stern word, bro. Hey, put my man on, bro.
Yeah, man. Last year they kept on us, man. They give us like one KO game. I can't remember which one. I was like, what the. And you go the big clubs all in KO, like, you know, I'm like, all right.
But that's how it goes, bro. Unfortunately, it sucks. But I do hope that with things like NBL 1, obviously it being visible on KO, the game getting a lot more global now here in Australia, I think that it's going to help the game, you know, get a lot better and develop a lot better. I've got a couple more questions before I get into my wrap-up section, and bro, I'm really excited for this tail end section for you. For me, I think grassroots basketball is really important to the game. You've obviously played in, you know, the semi-professional level. You know, you've mentioned NBL 1 and some of the other delegates over in other states, as well as playing in Waratah League with yours truly right here. I'll send you an autograph later. Don't worry about it, bro. What do you think needs to happen here in Australia to make the game bigger and better?
I think exposures, you know, everybody needs to get exposed, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm a fan of NBL 1, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This, you know, media, you know, just exposure, the media itself exposed a lot, you know. Now that I hear a lot of people in different countries, in the States, all of that, it's a respectful level, you know, like, man, you play in NBL 1? Oh, man, you know, I heard it's a good league, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the fact that they eradicated all those, you know, QBL, you know, Waratah, all this random league, they put it all, like, you know what I mean, into one category.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's great. Also, you know, for me, I want Australia to kind of have a system where they could give guys more opportunity from the NBL 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
Like, yeah, bro, like, what's the point of having it? You know?
Yeah. I think for me, like, when I was a kid, I said this on the very first episode that I had, the idea of going to the States and playing when I was younger, I would put it in the same category as being Batman. Like, it was just not possible. And a lot of that is because of, obviously, the timing, the connection with people to be able to go over there.
Exactly, yeah.
The cost. I mean, the best I got was an opportunity to go over and trial for like a preparatory school. We played against an AAU team, a traveling AAU team here in Australia. And it was like 60 grand for like 8 months.
60?
Yeah, 60, bro. And then that's to go live there, do all that sort of stuff, and you're 13. And I'm poor, bro. We ain't got that money, bro.
Nah, hell no. Not going to go to 60K. Hell no. Not even.
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro.
And so now you got to think it's a lot more open. I think as well, the other thing is a lot of guys who were maybe imports that ended up deciding to stay here, they have kids. You know, a perfect example of that is you think of like, you know, Rod Proctor. Rod Proctor comes over here.
That's my guy. Shout out to Rod, man.
Hey, and then you got to think like he's given back to the sport, right? Like his son Tyrese is doing fantastic over at Duke.
Shout out my boy Tyrese, yes sir.
He's headlining up at Bankstown and developing the program over there. Those types of things, people like that, they give back to the sport. So as it continues to get better and better, and more people are sticking around here, I think it's definitely going to help. One thing I want to ask you about is being of someone from, you know, Sudanese background. What's it? Sudanese, like I've met so many different guys that are of Sudanese ethnicity that are playing basketball here. What do you think helps guys of your background gravitate towards the sport here?
Well, just our build, I guess. You know, most Sudanese, you know, they're just tall, you know, athletic, I guess. You know, and I think also the fact that you got people like Manud Ball, the Wild Dang, you know, you got Thon, like especially when because Thon, I'm close with Thon.
Yeah.
When Thon blew up, you know, he made it to the NBA. All the kids got inspired by that. You know.
I love that.
Then the fact that he made it, you know, opened the doors for a lot of kids. Like, oh, what? Thon Maker? Yeah, he used to play. He used to do that. So now all the parents encourage their children to go play basketball. I think Thon made a huge impact on the Sudanese kids. Yeah, most people wouldn't know that, but Thon is like an icon, you know.
Yeah, I think I think when you think about people of different ethnicities, and this is one of the things that I love about basketball, bro. I've been able to meet people of all different backgrounds purely through the game, and then you get to learn about their culture and you learn about what their life is like. And I've met so many guys that have been so gifted that are just coming from that corner of the world. I've always been fascinated by like how people gravitate towards basketball, and it's like the same thing with you meet a lot of Filipino guys that love the game, and to them it's a big cultural thing. But almost every Sudi boy that I've spoken to, I've been like, hey, like how'd you get introduced to the ball? Oh man, I didn't really like basketball. I played soccer a lot. Hey,
it's
bro,
true.
you're busting my ass, bro. It doesn't look like you just learned. Do you think there's what else would you like to see to help try and grow that sort of positive culture from guys of African descent or Sudanese descent here in Australia to help try and push that and make more fun makers in the game?
Oh, I think just giving them a chance. Because a lot of us, like when I was growing up, I couldn't make mistake in a team. You know? So when you're in those teams, you don't get the luxury like other kids. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You don't get the luxury to turn the ball over or just make mistake. I was not turning eventually, but you know what I'm saying. Just give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? It's all about getting an opportunity, man. That's all it is.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Guess what? We're getting up to We're getting to my favorite section now.
I know it's some game or something. Huh?
We are. We got a game, right? So this section here is called Fast Five. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and the idea is I want quick answers. All right? I don't want you to think about it too much. I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to answer it, and feel free to speak reckless, bro. We can always edit it out. All right. So, who would be the perfect one-on-one game you would want to see and why? And keep in mind, you can play in this game. So you could play anyone you want, or you could watch 2 players play. Who would it be?
LeBron James versus Michael Jordan.
Bro. Okay, now we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into this, right? Who do you think would win and why?
I think Mike's gonna win.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think Mike would win. Just his will. He's a prolific scorer. Obviously, LeBron's not a bad scorer, but I'm just saying I think Mike would win.
Yeah.
So
do you think his heart is something that would help him deal with the size difference and the physicality? Yeah.
I think Mike is. If you watch the documentary, Mike's always want to win in anything in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's competitive. His competitive edge is what drives him, I think.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy game, but I just think Mike will come over the top and be king of the hill.
I think that's going to be a lot of people. I might have to change this question because every time I've asked this question, Brett, every single person's question has been this, and I'm like, I agree. It's always going to be good to see. It would be good to see those 2 guys play.
Yep.
Who would be your dream starting 5? Your starting 5, dead or alive, it doesn't matter. You can pick any 5. Who are you picking?
Point guard, Magic Johnson.
I like that.
Shooting guard, Michael Jordan.
Yep.
The 3-man, I put LeBron James.
Okay. Yep.
The 4-man, I would pick. God damn.
This is the tough one, bro.
I'll pick 4-man. Gosh. Damn. Tim Duncan. I put him down to 4.
Timmy D, yeah. Nice.
Yep. 5, I go with Hakeem.
Bro. Hakeem Olajuwon is my man, bro. I love Shaq. I love Shaq, but
I love Shaq, but Hakeem is that guy.
Is technical. Shaq was technical too, but Hakeem was technical in the offensive end and the defensive end. It was a problem.
I wanted to pick Kareem, but goddamn.
Look, I like Kareem. Don't get me wrong. They were different, bro. It's different times. The style of basketball that they were playing back in the late 70s and through to the 80s that Kareem was a part of. Very, very good technical basketball. But it is not the same technical skill set that they had in the big dominance period in the 90s. It was not the same, bro.
And he was to pick a six man, it's Kobe Bryant. So I'm just saying, if this was a six man, I'll put Kobe.
6 man. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, but who's he coming off the bench for first?
Kobe.
Who's Kobe coming off the bench for first? Who's he subbing in for?
Oh yeah, he get Mike.
Yeah, it's an easy swap there.
Yeah, easy swap, man. He get Mike. Yeah, man, that's my squad.
All right. So, who is, in your eyes, the most underappreciated player in the game?
I would say Damian Lillard.
Okay.
Okay, well, the reason I say that is because Damian Lillard, like, if you look at his team, right, he has to produce every night,
Yeah.
or else he can't take a night off, or else they're gonna, the chance of winning is very slim, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like Dame is very underappreciated. People are like, oh yeah, Dame doesn't want a championship, he just wants to get the bag and just retire in Portland. No, that's not the case. Dame
I
is
don't think so.
Dame is just, I think Dame is underappreciated. The fact that the reason why being is because, like, think about it, right? Dame, as soon as he come with a pick, they can don't get double team, right? So that's why the pick only gets set high and you have to take those open shots.
Yeah.
For example, if it's like, let's say Philly or Denver, you can't really double those guys. You can't really double Jokic, good shooters. You can't really double Embiid, shooters. You double Harden, shooters. So Lillard, you double who's going to give the ball to.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know? Yeah. So I feel like Dame is very underappreciated.
And you think about teams like Denver, you think of teams like Philly, like what you were talking about, they can move the ball too. Like those two big guys there, Embiid and Jokic, they can move the ball for big dudes too. All right,
exactly
now,
right.
the opposite end of the coin. Who's overrated? Who's the most overrated player? This is reckless time now, bro. Don't hold
Man.
back. I want to hear who is garbage but gets all the hype.
In my opinion,
Go.
Carl Towns, bro. Bro, bro, that guy is a fake tough guy. I can't stand his game, bro. He's just like he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, how you haven't achieved anything? Like, what's the hype behind this guy? That's my question. Like, he hasn't done much. You know what I mean? So for him, to get all, bro. I don't rate him whatsoever, bro. I can't stand his game.
I think especially too when you think about the period when he had Jimmy Buckets, and you're like, bro, how did you let that go like that?
Well, Jimmy tried to hold him accountable to a high standard. I don't think he couldn't handle the critique from Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I can't stand Carl Towns, bro. He pisses me off so much.
Cat's no good, bro.
Nah, trash, bro.
All right. My lucky last question, all right, and this might turn some heads. This is probably the most potentially infamous question. Your favorite basketball movie of all time?
Damn, I got two.
Give them to me. I want to hear them both.
Okay. Obviously, Coach Carter. You got to go Coach Carter.
Coach Carter, fantastic movie.
And you got to go with Tupac, Above the Rim.
Ooh! Hey, that's a good movie too.
Yeah, man. Above the Rim is lit, bro.
And the soundtrack is fire
The
as well,
soundtrack is
bro.
fire. The villain is good. Like, obviously, I like White Man Can't Jump, but those two movies. And Michael J. Fox movie, Turn to a Wolf.
Oh, Teen Wolf.
Yeah, that one is fire too, but
bro, that's hilarious. That's a good one.
yeah, Michael J. Fox, man, that was one of my favorite actors, man.
Yeah,
nothing beats Above the Rim and Coach Carter.
Yeah, Above the Rim is a really, really good one. Coach Carter's obviously iconic, bro. Iconic.
Yeah, he's iconic. Yeah, I love it, man. The storyline, the plot, he's funny as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's one of my favorite, bro. But Michael J. Fox too, man.
They're sleeping on Michael J. Fox, bro.
Don't sleep on that guy, man. Teen Wolf, baby.
Oh, bro. Bongo, I want to thank you so much for jumping on the podcast with me, man. It was an absolute pleasure to talk game with you. Like, I've had the pleasure in sharing the court with you, and you've been one of my favorite teammates that I've had in my time. But it's even better to get to know you and your history and talking hoops, bro.
No, I appreciate you, man.
My pleasure, bro. My pleasure. Anytime. Is there anything that you want to plug? Any social media stuff? Is there anything you want to share? People got to be looking at.
Yeah, man, you know, just follow your boy Easy Money Easy Pay on Instagram. You know what I mean? That's about it, man. I don't know. I appreciate you, Chris, man. You know, if you want to do part 2 of this shit, man, we can run it back. You know, this
Hey,
is,
don't worry about it, bro.
yeah,
We'll make it
yeah,
happen. We'll make it
bro.
happen.
Anytime, man. You know, you're gonna do it, bro. You know, good. Probably my boy Thon gonna be back soon. Do up. You know, we can all. You know, we'll go all the boys in. You feel me? Nah, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah, hit me up anytime, man. Anytime.
Of course, of course. All right, guys,
Yes,
that's
sir.
going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much. Take care.